What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another video. This is a video of me reviewing the whole of 2021, my honest opinion of everything, what I did wrong, what I did right, and everything that I wish I would have done. So if you're new around here, drop us a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into the video. Yeah, so 2021. Where do I even start with 2021? I mean, not just for me, I think for the whole world, it was one of the craziest years ever. Not just in the sense of what's been going on, but just in the sense of how different our lives are now and how new normals come into play, and it's all just a bit crazy. But I ain't going to go into politics and what I think of all that crap. It's going to continue to happen for this year without a doubt, and it's probably only going to get worse. But I won't start off on that note. What I will say, starting off 2021, for me, so my community started the back end of 2020. Going into 2021, I was a little bit nervous going into 2021, to be honest with you, because it was a big responsibility. All of a sudden got chucked on top of me. You know, I remember first doing the video for the course, and I remember thinking, oh, if I get like 50 people trying to sign up, that'd be great. I ended up getting like 300 emails in like 5 minutes, and straight away, all of them people wanted to join the community, and all of a sudden, when emails started coming through, I remember sitting down thinking, cool. This is very real now, and this is a responsibility that I'm going to have for a long time to look after these people and inevitably make sure that they're looked after financially. It's quite a weird scenario. But going into 2021, everything was positive, everything was massive. Then all of a sudden we got some kind of lockdowns, and we were told we can't do this, we can't do that. And to be honest, with trading, it doesn't really make a difference. If anything, it really benefits trading, because when you start to get lockdowns and everything else, the markets do tend to sell off quite rapidly, and we saw that, and it was some brilliant moves again for everybody to jump on and capitalize on. But what I would say, I apologize guys, I'm a bit rusty because I've been on YouTube for a while. We've got 800 plus students now, so the year has gone fantastically in terms of growth for the community, and more of the same, if not a lot better, for the community this year. But I won't go into too much detail about the community. The community is doing great. Now, moving on into a little bit to 2021, my head started to go in then. You know, a lot of pressure was on me with the community. It was all very overwhelming. It all sort of just happened at once. And I went off to Dubai. I went over there for 5 to 6 weeks, which is unbelievable. Just stayed out there. There's a lot of good memories out there. Met a lot of good new people. And yeah, it was brilliant time out there. We then come back from 5 to 6 weeks out there, went back to Turkey, got my beard and hair done, which is now starting to look quite good. That got done out there. Then we come back to the UK, and this is where my year changed really, because I've come off to such a flying year, and I took my foot massively off the gas at this point. I've become very complacent with everything. You know, the community was growing at a rapid pace, trading was going really well, everything was going really well. And it was a little bit of an odd experience for me where everything was going really well. I've said this before in previous videos, where there's always something in my life that is not going where I want it to be, and it keeps me on the path of where I should be going. But at this point, everything was going really well. So I took my foot massively off the gas. I think that's probably what a lot of people do when they first come into this kind of area of success in terms of trading, and not even just trading, just any walk of life. You take your foot off the gas naturally. And I think you need that little bit of a fall back to realize that you can't take your foot off the gas. But yeah, it was almost like we come back from Dubai, took my foot off the gas, and everything just started slowly going downhill. You know, there was a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and you know, my trading was getting not worse, but I wasn't trading as much. I wasn't making as much money with trading. It wasn't really my priority. I was just kind of happy with what I was doing. I was content on making X, Y, Z, and you know, it just wasn't really going anywhere. And I don't care what anyone says. If you take your foot off the gas in any sort of way, you can't maintain an upward trajectory, because it's impossible. Something happens psychologically or whatever it is, but you just become on a downward spiral, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you've kind of yourself. It's almost like a plane, isn't it? It's like, you know, when a plane lifts off, how much force and power is behind that plane trying to take off, and when it's in the sky, it kind of just glides along. But with me, I feel like at the start of 2021, I used all that force and power and energy to get me to where I needed to be, and before I'd started to get to that cruise level, I went cruising too early, if that makes sense. So we weren't at cruising speed. I went up here and then cruised along down like that. Not to say that it went terribly wrong, but there was just so many things that I would have done differently now if and when I look back on 2021. And this is a good video to sort of review everything that went on. My comfort zone just moved completely. Like, I was just comfortable. Like, the year prior, I'd be earning, say, like 10K a month or 15K a month. And then I just got comfortable earning double that and more a month. And then all of a sudden that earnings started to drop, go slowly down and slowly down. Then the comfort zone changed again because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't trying to go for new goals. At the start of the year, I was all over watches and all that crap. But by the end of it, by the 6 months in, I was kind of like, this is just dead. This is boring. And my ego kind of took over, and I just thought I was to be honest. But again, life will humble you very, very quickly. And for me, that's one big lesson that I've learned for this year is I cannot take my foot off the gas. I have to hit this full throttle. And take your foot off the gas when you go on holiday. Have a nice little break. Go away for 1-2 weeks. Put your feet up. Don't do a single thing. And then come back to it and smash it out. Don't take your foot off the gas for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and expect you come back after them 8 weeks and be sweet. Because that is not going to happen. You can't build up that momentum again. But yeah, I could become demotivated, and then it almost just seemed like, this is me making excuses now, but it just almost seemed like there was loads of distractions going on. Obviously we had the Euros, which was for English fans, bit of a heartbreak. That was such a low point in my life. I don't know why, because whether or not it was the football, it just affected me massively. I don't know what was going on. Like, my trading weren't going great. We'd lost the Euros. I just remember that time of my life being so dead, and other things went on behind the scenes personally that were unbelievable. But when I look back on that time, I kind of shudder because it's like a really crappy time of that 2021. Then all of a sudden I started to take more L's. Other things happened. This is outside of trading and everything else, big L's that happened. And that almost was like, it was almost like a snowball effect of what I'd allowed happen in the first place. I read a book before called like Being Happy, and it talks about like a pebble being thrown at you. You know, you're not taking much notice of it. Then all of a sudden there's like a rock being thrown at you. You're kind of like, oh, that's annoying. Then someone's throwing like a brick at you and you're like, oh, that hurts. And all of a sudden you've got a boulder coming at you, and then you take notice and it's too late by that point. And that's what happened to me the back end of 2021. Everything just kind of went upside down, and I had to, you know, change everything in that time to almost like bounce back. So I had to do loads of different things. I had to get back on what I was doing before, and it was a very difficult time. But you know, I've got that momentum switched over now. I'm doing certain things. This is another thing that I said before with YouTube. Like, I'm not going to be posting everything that I'm doing and all these things that I'm doing behind the scenes, because to be quite frank, I don't really want to. I'm on YouTube. This is going to be an educational platform, show you exactly how I trade. You can learn from me, you can use me. If you don't want to learn from me, don't want to use me, you can unsubscribe. I won't get offended, it's fine. All that stuff like posting up your watches, posting up your cars, posting up this, it's just an ego boost. It's just an ego boost, and it's like, oh, look at me, look what I've got, look what I've done. I can't be arsed with that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, I'm going here, or I'm doing this. Don't get me wrong, if I'm on holiday and I want to do a little vlog for everybody, then I'll do that. But I won't be like, oh, yeah, look where I'm doing, look where I'm going. Like, no one cares. Do you know what I mean? That's one thing I've noticed on YouTube. No one cares. People will pick holes in everything that you do. Trust me, I am a very good example of that. The hate was one of the things in 2021. You've got to love it. Some sad people out there that want to try and bring you down. And that's another thing that I learned about, you know, trading and being online as well, is that nobody's your friend. Like, don't think that anybody's your friend. Like, you can have people saying all these good things about, oh, you're doing this, that, and the other, and then switch on you like that, and all of a sudden you're left standing like, what the f***'s gone on there? That was a massive thing that I learned in 2021, and that's probably another reason why I'm not posting everything that I want to post, because to be quite frank, people are going to scrutinise it, people are going to hate on it, and fair dues, go and hate on someone else. I'm here to teach you how to trade, educate you, show you how to be a better person, and that's what my 2022 channel is going to be about. So if you don't want to follow it, you don't have to, so unsubscribe. But if you want to make yourself a better person, you want to become a better trader, then stick around, because I'm going to be doing a lot more content for you on how to do that. One thing I will do is this year I'm going to be doing a video on what I'm planning to do for 2022. I've written down a lot of things that I am going to be leaving in 2021. If you haven't already, look at my previous how to set goals for 2021. That's another thing that I've massively fell off on. At the start of the year, everything was regiment, bang, 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 monthly. I knew exactly what I was doing every single month. Then all of a sudden it just come off. So that is what I'll be doing. I'll be back to that as the start of January now. Everything's going to be done militantly, exactly what's going on, how much I'm making and what's my expenditure, what am I putting in investments, where are my investments. Everything's going to be militant again throughout the whole of the year, and it's going to be a monthly checkup on how I'm going to be doing certain things and what I am going to be doing. And one thing I will say, this is one thing I've learned, the biggest thing I've learned in 2021, no one's coming to save you. If your trading isn't going as well as you want it to be, no one's coming to save you. Or if you're in a financial mess at the minute, no one's coming to save you. You are on your own, unless you have rich parents and you can get bailed out. No one's coming to save you. You are the only one who's going to achieve your own goals, okay? Believe me when I say that. No one's coming to help you. So if you want to get successful and you want to be a good trader, like I had a student a couple of weeks ago, I get this question a lot. How do I become more disciplined? How do you become more disciplined? You just have to become disciplined. There's no wrong way to do it. It's like, oh, I'm not going to trade until I become more disciplined. You're not going to trade until you become more disciplined. So how are you going to know if you're more disciplined than if you're not trading? You need to trade in order to test your discipline. Being disciplined is sticking to something that you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left you. Does that make sense? Yeah. Being disciplined is sticking to the thing that you said you was going to do long after the mood you set it in has left you. So it's almost like I'm going to do this, and then a week later you're not doing it anymore. It's because that mood's left you. You're no longer in that mood. But being disciplined is sticking to what you said you were going to do. And that is what I'm doing for this year. Sticking exactly what I'm doing. I'm coming all guns blazing this year. I'm going to be smashing up YouTube. I'm going to be smashing up trading again, and I'm going clear. So if you're with me, great. If you're not, unsubscribe. But other than that, new video coming out for you in the next few days as well. I hope you enjoyed that. That's just me being completely honest with how my year went. And yeah, I'm going to be doing so many different things this year. I know I am. One big thing for me this year is training and being physically fit, because when you're physically fit and your mind's on the ball, then your brain is as well. You know, if you're eating like a slob and behaving like a slob, you do slobby things, if that makes sense. If you're up late at night and you're waking up in the morning having a fry up for breakfast and eating chocolate and sweets and everything else, and then you come on to trading, your head's all groggy and you're just setting up for a recipe to disaster. So my main goal for this year, I've got a lot of goals that I've got to go through. If you want me to go through them with you, I will. But my main goal for this year is to get physically fit, get mentally fit, and get absolutely on top of my game once again. So guys, I will love and leave you. I hope that helps. Maybe a little bit too honest, but who cares? Love you all. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.